Hi and welcome to a Monday Live. And yeah, it's a good weekend. Finished rather nicely for Alfie. We went out for a nighttime walk last night, expecting to see the stars, and instead we were seeing snowflakes on our tongues. You know, I still love snow now, but the joy in young people's faces is wonderful. We went out and played in the snow this morning as well, actually. Not much here, not a huge amount, but enough, and the sun was out this morning, so it was rather nice in the snow. So, yeah, and I have a feeling it's not going to be here for long, so you've got to get out there and enjoy it. So what have we got going on? Well, I'm finishing off the topic of strong hands here. Strong hands this morning, but on the site for December, of course, we've got a different topic. December, Christmassy, I thought let's go for slams. So it's defending against slams. So it might require some of you to revise your slam biddings so that you can make sure you get into the slams on the set hands, because yes, it's going to require the opponents to bid to slams, which isn't actually, I mean, set hands in these kind of topics are quite tricky, because obviously if your opponents don't get to the slams, you're sort of stymied. But of course you will be in a situation where you'll be able to imagine if they're in 4 spades, let me pretend they're in 6 spades and decide what I'd lead against that. Interestingly, of course, if you know that they should be in a slam, you are going to save a trick if you get it right anyway. So 4 spades plus 2, if you can keep them to 4 spades plus 1, you get a better score. So anyway, it's an interesting topic, and we'll be talking about that throughout December. And I'll also talk about what we're doing over the Christmas period, etc. on the site. I'm busy myself. I'll be at Denham, not on Christmas. I have a family Christmas, but I will be there for Twixmas and for New Year. There's a little bit of space, I think, maybe at Twixmas, maybe a little bit, and the odd room for New Year. So if you are still interested, you could come along. What else have we got? We got our bidding quiz as usual. We've got the hand evaluation. And I'll be looking at the beginners element as well. Again, sticking with declare a play for the beginners, and I'll put that at the end. We got our prize winner. In terms of products for Christmas, we haven't gone physical yet, so we're still all ease. So lots of ebooks and obviously vouchers, software, and the DVDs, etc. Will we, and if you've got any queries about that, please do send in to us. You can always contact us about a variety of things. Don't forget also, if you do have any charity events that you would like to promote, please do contact us, and we will put that on our site, and I will try to promote them as well in these live things, so don't forget that. Okay, let's have a look at Q plus is where I go there. Yeah, okay. Yes, as Will and Sylvia said, they've pointed out quite rightly, they are doing Christmas at Denham. So apologies for not mentioning that, Will. Yes, they're there for Christmas. So we got a nice party there for Christmas as well. Well, shout out to Kathy there on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Welcome to you. And here I welcome you with a rather nice hand. So this is the hand evaluation hand. We looked at it on Friday. We're going to look at this topic today, so you can have a decision. I mean, it's going to be an opening bid. You've got to decide on what you'd open with this hand. And obviously during the seminar, I'm going to talk about the various options you might have. So it's everybody non-vulnerable, and you're going to be the opening bidder. And you have a think about that while we look at our little seminar. So let's go to that. So we've been looking at strong opening hands, and we're going to finish here with that. Of course, there will be some next month anyway, but bidding towards the slams, so we'll be able to keep on it, as it were. So what we've talked about over this last month, I like to have the 2 strong bids. That's a 2 club bid and a 2 diamond bid is strong, as well as 2 no trumps. So there's 3 there in total. 2 clubs is what we used to call an ACOL 2. It's 8 playing tricks. Basically, it means I need a little bit of help, less than a responding bid. So, you know, if you've got a high card or 2, so a queen, a couple of queens, maybe a king, an ace, that may be enough for me to make a slam. Okay. Whereas 2 diamonds is saying, I do not need any help from you at all to make game, partner. However, of course, if you've got a little bit of help, let's think about slam. That's the important thing. So when I open 2 diamonds here, I'm saying, partner, I'm super excited. Now, what I did say is later on during the thing is I said you could play the 2 diamonds as completely and utterly game forcing and therefore have it as 25 plus. 25 plus doesn't come up very often, but the idea being that if you know that 2 diamonds is always game forcing, or then of course you can choose as a partnership to know that throughout, and therefore there will, you know, if the opponents come in or anything like that, you know that you've got to keep bidding until you win game. And that can be valuable for partnership trust. When I open 2 diamonds, partner, neither of us are going to pass until we get to a game contract. If it is wrong for us to be in a game contract, that will be my fault, partner, because I've opened 2 diamonds and I've said it is right for us. Okay, and we'll be thinking about this a lot today. Okay, and of course they need alerting, as do some of their responses. So today we are looking at strong minor-based hands. And you've got 3 basic options when you've got a strong hand with a minor. Okay. The first option is I am prepared to be passed at the 1 level. Okay. Now, what's tricky with minors is that with minors, you need 11 tricks to make your game. So with a strong 2 in a major, I don't mind only having 8 playing tricks. My partner just needs 2 to help me. I mean, sometimes that can be just 1 king and a ruff. So it doesn't need many points, but I still need a little bit. To make 5 clubs, there's going to be times that I'm prepared to open 1 club, because if my partner can't respond, well, then we're not going to make a game. So with some stronger hands, you might choose to open at the 1 level in the minors, whereas in the majors we might open strong. So the next option is I am prepared to be passed at the 3 level. So there's going to be some hands that you feel, look, I want to show my partner that I've got 9 tricks here, but if my partner's doesn't feel he can give me anything, then I'm prepared to be passed at the 3 level. Okay. And then the last one is, partner, I do not want to be passed at all below game. So there are 3 options. Okay. And I think you've worked out what those options are. 1 is that we open at the 1 level, 1 club or 1 diamond, clearly non-forcing. 2 is that you open 2 clubs, partner. You open 2 clubs, partner responds, and then you rebid the minor. And that says, partner, I do not need you to bid towards game because I didn't open 2 diamonds. Okay, that's important. I didn't choose to open 2 diamonds. I chose to open 2 clubs. So I'll usually have about 9 tricks in my hand, partner. So if you've got nothing, maybe 3 clubs is fine. Okay. If I feel I want to play in game, and to be honest, if I'm honest, generally that's going to be 10 tricks. So there will be times that I force us to bid into 5 clubs and we won't make it because I've only got 10 tricks. But I just feel I've got to keep bidding, partner, because, you know, you're not going to be able to judge whether your jack of diamonds is important to me. Does that make sense? So I also want to find out whether 3 no trumps is the best contract. So I want to be forced. Notice that the 2 club opening and rebidding 3 clubs is only ever going to be passed if partner has nothing. So it's not often going to be passed, but you're just saying that I'm prepared to be passed. So let's try and work out what we mean. Okay, so you only open with a strong option if you feel most of the time you're going to make 9 tricks by yourself. That's important, because in the majors we said 8, but in the minors I want you to feel that you should be close to 9 tricks. Okay. Notice that some people who play just 2 strong bids, so that they have a 2 club opening and that's all really as their strong bid, they start saying, well, yeah, but my partner responds to the 1 level with lesser hands. You've got to be really careful with that, because if you start responding to the 1 level with lesser hands, you end up getting out of hand. Okay, because your whole system falls apart. Because if I open at the 1 level and my partner responds, generally with 19, I'm expecting to be in game. Well, if you're responding with 4 points, with 19, I'm not in game. So it doesn't really work, those of you who start decreasing the amount you need to respond. Well, let's look at some examples and see. So have a look at this one. And what do you think about this one? $19 high card points, wonderful club suit there. So if you were doing just basic hand evaluation, you'd feel it's between 20 and 21 points here. Okay. The problem is it is a minor. So if I simply swap the clubs and the hearts suit there, if I swap the clubs and hearts and I had 6 strong hearts like that, I would feel, look, this is a strong 2 opening. Okay. Yep, so if I swap the clubs and hearts, I'd open 2 clubs and rebid 2 hearts, and my partner would know I had 8 tricks in hearts. We don't need much for game. Here, I think I've only got 8 tricks in clubs, and when I've got 8 tricks in clubs, I think I've just got to open 1 club. There'll be the odd time that we miss something, but to be honest, you know, most of the time your partner passes, you're going to be comfortable that you're in 1 club. And don't forget, your opponents might come in. Okay, so remember, to bid 2 clubs followed by 3 clubs, you want to have 9 tricks. With ace, king, jack, 10, 9 to 5 there, sorry, to 6, you can't really count that as 6 tricks. Okay, it's a nice hand in terms of losers, and we'll often see that. Okay, all right, and therefore, you know, with that kind of hand, you've got to wait until you've got a fit. So 1 club, your partner responds. You might have a fit somewhere else other than clubs. Okay, if your partner can't respond, you would feel you're going to be going, you know, you're not going to be going too many places. The idea is don't forget, you need 11 tricks if you're playing in clubs. That is your final contract. Whereas if it was a heart suit, you're thinking, well, we might be able to make 4 hearts if partner's just got a 3 count. Okay, it's unlikely you're going to make game here. I mean, I could give you a hand. Well, you need the clubs to come in most of the time. Okay. Do you spot the difference? I've given you another king. Okay. And you might not have noticed I've changed something there, but there is an extra high card now. Okay. So you have 22 high card points and a 6 card club suit. It looks quite exciting to me. And so the question you are asking yourself here is, do I always want to play in game with this hand? So I'm hoping that you're happy you should be opening with a strong bid here. Okay, if you open a club, it's all well and good saying, yeah, I don't mind if I get past. Believe you me, if it goes 1 club pass here, you are not a happy person. Okay, all right, because, you know, give your partner 1 queen and the non-heart queen, but even if your partner had the heart queen, you know, if it's length in hearts, you might want to play in 3 no trumps. So I think you've got to open a strong bid, but I don't feel I need to guarantee game here. There are 4 possible losers. Okay, the 2 of spades, the 2 of hearts, the 3 of diamonds, and let's say a club. If my partner has absolutely nothing, I don't think we're going to make game. If my partner's got queen jack to 5 hearts, I want to be in 3 no trumps, but my partner will bid. It'll go 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs, and my partner will show her hearts. And at that point, we can bid 3 no trumps. So I want my partner to think very seriously about bidding over my 3 club rebid. But I do not feel I need to guarantee game completely. So I think 2 clubs is reasonable there. And you've probably guessed what's going to happen. I'm going to move 1 more card. So let's move 1 more card. There you go. So you've got the same number of high card points. I've given you a 7th club here. Okay, so still 22 high card points, but a 7th club. There's two things the 7th club does. It increases the chance of the clubs falling, so there's more of a chance of you. It's not unreasonable to hope on a bad Yarborough day that you could actually make 11 tricks in. So there are only 3 possible losers, and you might lose 3 possible tricks. But the point is, if your partner had a Yarborough with Doubleton club, you still probably, oh come on, I'll gamble, I'll play in 5 clubs. Your partner has a Yarborough with 3 clubs, you want to be in 5 clubs. So I think you've got to open 2 diamonds here. And when you rebid 3 clubs, what that means is partner is going to bid again. And if partner can dredge up a 3 heart bid with 5 small hearts, let's play in 3 no trumps. Okay, so obviously you've seen 3 options there. There's one more. Let's put one more up. Let's have a look at this one. So what do you think about this one? So the interesting thing about this one is it's actually weaker than one of the hands we've already seen. And on one of the hands we've already seen, we opened 1 club. And I don't mind 1 club with this hand. Can anybody think of another option? And again, you don't have to bid this option. But given that you're evaluating the hand as 20 to 22 points, and I hope you are, and it is semi-balanced, so it is 6-3-2-2. Okay, so I hope you're all evaluating the hand as 20 to 22, if that makes sense. It's semi-balanced. Remember, you don't have to have a stopper in all of the suits. It's not perfect. But 2 no trumps is not an unreasonable bid with this hand. It sort of covers a couple of bases. You won't always find the best contract, don't get me wrong. But what you're trying to do is describe your hand. And I think saying you've got 20 to 22 points in a balanced or semi-balanced hand. Remember, the description of a 2 no trump opener is balanced or semi-balanced. I'm going to now move my microphone. Sorry, apologies for that. I don't know what the sound's been like, but I had failed to put the microphone on my shirt, so hopefully it's better now. So I apologise if there hadn't been any complaints. Maybe it's too loud now, we'll see. So that is another option there, okay? So don't forget, the 2 no trump opening bid can be bid with 2 doubletons. So particularly 5-4-2-2. Less likely maybe with 6 here. To be honest, this is a really strong hand. But yes, 5-4-2-2s, you will often do it at the 2 level. Okay, so remember, the definition of 2 no trumps is balanced or semi-balanced. Okay, whereas a 1 no trump opening bid, when we open that is a balanced hand of 12 to 14, so there's a big difference. Okay, and the reason we call it semi-balanced or balanced for 2 no trumps is because we're sort of trying to find a bid for quite a lot of the 2 no trump 20-22 point hands we have, because we do prefer to open at the 2 level if we can. Okay, but clearly with a singleton heart, okay, it doesn't seem reasonable. 3 no trumps, don't forget, for those of you who are talking on this side of the Atlantic, 3 no trumps is a gambling bid, quite a weak bid. Okay, so this is much too strong. I should say, if you ever play with the robot or with Americans, the 3 no trump opening bid shows about 25 to 26 points. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay. If your partner bids a transfer, you just fill out that transfer. Okay, so if partner bids 3 diamonds, you bid 3 hearts. Remember, partner knows you might just have 2. So if your partner bids the normal systems over 2N, you just carry on as normal. Okay, so let's look at some hands and see if we're comfortable with them. Let's say we opened 1 club with the hand on the left. We saw that. The hand on the right's an interesting one. Whether you choose to respond or not, it's a bit borderline. If I'd had 5 diamonds and 4 hearts with the east hand, I might choose to respond 1 diamond. Here, though, I'm not comfortable responding. If you bid 1 heart, I don't think you can necessarily suggest you're going to finish in a better contract. So the best, if you are going to respond to 1 club, you should probably respond 1 diamond. believe it or not. You're just, if you're going to choose to respond, you're trying to improve the contract. The problem with responding is your partner's going to end up bidding game. So if you do choose to respond to one club, West, as we've seen, wants to be in game now. So if you pass, West is happy because you're in the best contract. One club is actually going to be your best contract, and that's what West has decided. West has said to himself, do you know, I don't mind one club being passed out. Okay, so it's an interesting one. As I say, if I had 5 diamonds and 4 hearts with the east hand, I think I would respond 1 diamond most of the time. And as I say, if you are going to choose to respond, I think your best response is a diamond. All you're trying to do is get to a better contract. Or from your point of view, from West's point of view, West thinks 1 club is an awful contract. So it's not unreasonable to make a response. But the problem is, quite often you're going to end up miles overboard. And if you constantly respond with 4 or 5 points, you will find that your partner is going to be going much, much too high because they'll assume you've got 6 points. So it's an interesting one. The key is, as you can see, West is quite comfortable playing in 1 club. Why is 1 diamond better than 1 heart? And the reason is because all you would be doing, if you choose to respond, all you are trying to do is get to a better contract. So you are hoping to finish in 1 diamond, 1 heart or 1 spade with the West. Don't get me wrong, you can't see the West hand. With the East hand, you're thinking 1 club's an awful contract, let's try. So I don't mind finishing in 1 no trump, 1 diamond, 1 heart or 1 spade. We're not going to finish in a diamond, partner won't pass. But can you see, the idea is that you're just hoping to, because most of the time if you bid a heart, your partner with a weak hand won't be able to rebid 2 diamonds and you're going to end up in 2 clubs. Now, on this hand, it's very different. West is getting very excited. So the only reason you would choose to respond in the East hand is to try to get to a better contract. Clearly, you shouldn't be responding. You've got a horrible 4 count. So you're going to end up too high if you respond. But you're thinking 1 club's not a good contract. Here, it could easily go, if you choose a heart response, I have to say I'd probably bid 3 no trumps with the West hand, because the West hand is worth 21 points, if you see what I mean. And so if your partner's got 6 points and can bid hearts, I would feel 3 no trumps isn't a bad descriptive bid from that point of view. And you don't really want to be in 3 no trumps here. I mean, on a good day it will make, but most of the time, if they lead spades, it's not going to be fun. You've got 8 tricks. Okay. Okay, so I mean, I think pass is reasonable there. Okay, I've changed the hand. Now you decided to open 2 clubs. Okay, because you did not want your partner passing. It would go 2 diamonds, relay 3 clubs. Partner, I've not got enough to guarantee game in a minor, but if you've got a few little bits, please bid. And of course, East has a few little bits here. I think 3 hearts is just a normal bid from East, isn't it? Okay, and that's enough for us to bid 3 no trumps there. Okay, won't always make 3 no trumps, but it's definitely the contract you'd want to be in there. You expect to lose 1 club and however many hearts they make. Notice that we've got 5 hearts in the East hand, so it's not unreasonable to hope that you're not going to lose 4 heart tricks. You could do. I mean, I guess if they choose to lead a heart, yeah, it's going to be tough to defeat, but if they chose to lead a heart from weakness and it turned out, that they were able to lead it twice, you'd be very unlucky to go off in 3 no trumps. I think the key is you want to be in it. You're more likely to get a spade lead, you'd win, knock out the Queen of Clubs, and you would be you've got 9 tricks there. And you might, as I say, end up losing 3 hearts or 4 hearts, in which case you could go down, but you want to be in 3 no trumps, and that's the key with this hand. Okay. You don't need a heart trick here, don't forget. You don't want a heart trick here. But of course you have got an entry there in diamonds, but you're just here. Sorry, I tell a lie. You've got 10 tricks because your partner's got the Queen of Diamonds. And the key on these hands is your partner never knows what a useful card to you is. But if you've opened 2 clubs followed by 3 clubs showing 9 tricks, it's not unreasonable for your partner to think, well, having these 2 queens may be enough for 3 no trumps to have a chance. And that's often the point here, that when we have a strong hand with a minor, what West is thinking is it would be lovely if partner could tell me where his strength is. Okay. And we could then finish in 3 no trumps. Of course, 5 clubs is a perfectly reasonable contract here, but not worth as much as 3 no trumps. Okay, let's look at that same hand opposite this then. So I've left the problem. So so for me, when I open 2 clubs here, I'm sort of saying to my partner, you know, I'm prepared to play in 3 clubs. You know, and I don't think it's, you know, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs. I think I would be tempted here. If my partner hasn't opened 2 diamonds, it seems reasonable to be able to pass there. Okay. You know, that would be my feeling. My partner's got a choice of bidding 2 clubs or 2 diamonds as an opening bid. He's chosen 2 clubs. I guess my jack to 4 diamonds might be an important stopper for him, but I can't know that. And if we're making game here, I think my partner should have opened 2 diamonds. So I'm going to pass 3 clubs. My partner's going to be disappointed, but when he loses the first 5, you know, in 3 no trumps, there's a very good chance you're going to lose the first 5 or 6 heart tricks, in which case, you know, and in 5 clubs, you might make all 6 clubs. If you've got a 2-suitor, you open 2 diamonds. It's really simple here, guys. If the West hand has a 2-suitor, he opens 2 diamonds, or you open 2 clubs and rebid at the 2 level in your major. Okay, so if you've got a 2-suitor, if you want your partner to bid again, you open 2 diamonds. It's really simple. So the 2 club bid followed by the 3 clubs is saying, partner, I can't guarantee game, but I want you to bid. But I don't need you to bid, but I want you to bid. Now, clearly, East is saying, well, if you don't need me to bid, I'm not going to bid. Okay, and that's the crucial thing. So if West wants his partner to bid, he can just open 2 diamonds. It's really simple. If you've got a slightly weaker 2-suitor, then that's again when you'd open at the 1 level. So if you've got a 6-4 hand or 6-5 hand, but not great in high card strength, you might open at the 1 level, because usually if you've got a massive 2-suitor, other people are going to have distribution as well. Okay, but if you want your partner to bid, again, open 2 diamonds. Even if you feel it's an overbid, if you simply just want your partner to keep bidding, then open with a 2 diamonds. And that's the beauty of having the 2 bids. The 2 club bid gives you the flexibility of saying, partner, I want to bid this because I'm strong, but I can't guarantee we're in game. And the key is, whenever you've got these super strong hands, there will be times when your partner's got very weak hands. But by very weak, I mean very weak. We're talking 0 to 2 points. Once you've got any more than 0 to 2 points, you've got to make a bid, even if you know, you've got king to 4 hearts or something there. I need you to make a bid, you know. Okay, but you know, it's not easy. So what on earth are you going to bid? Let's change the hand. So I've changed the hand here to the strongest one. Now I'm choosing 2 diamonds, 2 hearts negative, 3 clubs. This is unconditionally forcing to game. East is not allowed to pass. So what on earth does East bid? I mean, this is the thing. The point is that all you can say is that you can't blame East for whatever he bids. I suppose East could, but I hadn't thought about that. I've put 3 diamonds here, and I think 3 diamonds is probably reasonable because you have got something in diamonds and it might allow partner to try 3 no trumps. So maybe 3 diamonds is reasonable here. 5 clubs is an option as well. The only thing is partner might be sitting there with a 2-suitor or something like that. So I think just bidding the only thing that's in your hand. I mean, with a complete Yarborough, maybe I would bid 5 clubs, but I think 3 diamonds is reasonable. West now bids 4 clubs because 3 no trumps seems to be out of the question. Remember, this is still unconditionally forcing to game. 4 clubs is a stronger bid than 5 clubs, and I think it's a reasonable bid here because if partner's got the queen of diamonds, you know, 6 clubs could be happening. So 2 hearts is the negative response to 2 diamonds, don't forget. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts is a negative response. Someone asking why not show the negative. Okay, 3 clubs,
3 diamonds, 4 clubs, 5 clubs. Remember, in theory, if you bid 4 clubs over 3 clubs, that is a stronger bid than 5 clubs. The problem the East hand has in this auction, it knows its partner wants to play in game, but if partner had a singleton diamond, partner might choose to play in 3 no trumps if we show the diamonds. So it maybe is worth doing that, I think. You know, Jack 9 to 4 is not a bad stopper. You know, if North has the 10. And often if you've shown the diamonds, remember, you know, they might lead a spade or something like that. So here, with such a big club fit, you expect to make all those clubs, don't forget. So you're gonna end up making 5 clubs here. So the nuances of the auction are not important. The most important thing here is 2 diamonds is saying, partner, you've got to bid. I'm sorry, you've got to bid. If we go off in a game, it is my fault, partner. So if you've got a void club and a Yarborough, completely my fault. I just felt my hand was worth going for game. I do not want you to pass under any conditions with this hand. Okay. So, and again, a lot of this is how you feel at the table. We'll see the hand evaluation hand in a moment, and it's going to be how we feel about it. You know, it's going to be how we feel about it. You know, some of it, I tend to be a gambler, as you've seen, so sometimes I'll look at my hand and think I want to play in game on this hand, and that's my choice. Now, there'll be other people who don't choose that. Okay, let's look at this one. And what I said here is I was going to choose a 2 no trump opener. So it would go 2 no trumps, and of course you play your normal systems over that. So it would go 3 hearts, 3 spades, and I think probably 4 spades with 6 spades there. And that would be the auction we'd have to 4 spades there. So don't get me wrong, obviously I can choose a hand there. 2 no trumps is completely hopeless as well. I mean, but I think it's a reasonable bid here. Okay. If you open a club, it really should go past from your partner. So if you open 1 club, you really shouldn't respond to 1 club with a 3 count. You will just get to the wrong contract too often. Okay. The question someone's asking there is, how do you differentiate between the two types of minor suit hands if you've only got a 2 club opener? You can't do, so therefore you have to open a lot of hands at the 1 level. So you have to choose what 2 clubs followed by 3 clubs means. And if it's game forcing, then you have to open a lot of the hands at the 1 level, and it means it's not ideal. And that's why I don't like 3 week 2s, because I don't feel you have enough strong openings. Okay, I don't think you have enough strong openings. So but you know, so you've got to discuss once again what we're doing here is talking about, imagine you're playing 3 week 2s, so your only strong opening is 2 clubs. How do you play that? Well, it can be played, but you just need a lot more judgment. I prefer to have the 3 strong bids so that we can define them more precisely. 2 diamonds, partner, I'm playing in game. 2 clubs, I don't need much help, but give me some more. Okay, but I need a little bit of help for game, and obviously 1 club I'm prepared to play when you pass. The problem with when you've got 3 week 2s is that you've only got the 1 strong opener, so you're going to have to open at the 1 level with hands that do not want to be passed at the 1 level. Now the problem I have with that is it starts changing the way people respond to 1 level bids, because they start thinking, oh my goodness, could partner be weak? Should I bid with my 4 or 5 count? And of course that's no good, because that completely transforms the whole system. Remember, if I've got a good 18, 19 points and you respond, I know game is on. Well, if I think you might only have 4 points, then I don't know game is on. So it's really tricky. But those of you who are playing that system, if you're going to stick to it, remember you've got to try and define with your partner what 2 clubs followed by 3 of a minor shows. And if you find it as forcing, which you probably do have to, then then you do need to have your 9.5, 10 tricks to do it. So bear that in mind. Okay, you might want to bastardize your 2 no trump opening a little bit. Okay, so be involved with that. Okay, so, all right. So that is that. We've talked about strong hands a bit. Please do carry on sending them in. We will come across quite a few this month as well, December, because of course we are defending against slams. So that will come up quite a bit there. Let's look at that hand evaluation hand then and decide what we felt on it. And as I say, it's very much how you feel. First and foremost, I am not prepared to be passed at the 1 level. I'm sorry, but I'm not. You know, generally if you've got a 7-card suit, it's the majority of the time nobody else is going to have 4 of them. So the divide is going to be 3-2-1, 2-2-2, that kind of divide. So it's not unreasonable to feel you've got a 10-trick hand here. I'm going to call it 9.5 to 10, so it's very much up to you. I don't mind if you choose 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, but you've got to decide when you open this bid, do you want to allow your partner to pass? So I'm quite happy if I open 2 diamonds with this hand. And I'm just saying, partner, look, I'm prepared to go for it. Now, you're missing the jack and 10 of clubs. That's the difference between the one we had there. So it's very much up to you. But to be honest, if you gave your partner a 4-3-3-3-0 count, okay, then I've got someone saying you won't be passed very often. What you've got to understand on a hand like this, okay, is that if you open at the 1 level and it goes a 1 spade over called pass 4 spades, when you bid 5 clubs, partner's got no idea of the type of hand you've got. He doesn't know whether you think you can make 5 clubs or whether you're sacrificing, because you've opened at the 1 level. So if you open 1 club and it goes 1 spade, let's say pass and partner 4 spades, you're going to bid 5 clubs, I'm pretty sure here. But your partner's got no idea what's going on. Whereas at least if you open 2 clubs, your partner knows that you're expecting to make 5 clubs. Okay, and you might think this makes no difference. It goes 5 spades from the next hand. Your partner's got a bid. Your partner happens to have 3 clubs in a singleton, and your partner won't know what to bid. Okay, or might be thinking, oh, we should sacrifice. So it's quite important on hands like this. It's not just simply, do I mind being passed at the 1 level? You sort of want your partner to know the kind of hand you've got. Does that make sense? So generally, if you can, if you've got 2 strong openings, this is a classic choice simply of 2 clubs and 2 diamonds. Okay, so don't forget, when you're opening at the 1 level, it's not simply because you don't want to be passed, it's because you want, but bidding at the 2 level, you want to define your hand. So for me, I don't think 2 clubs is bad here, even if you're playing 3 weak 2s, to be honest, because it's not far off a 2 diamond bid anyway. Do you know, I'm prepared to say, partner, I want you to bid. I'm prepared to gamble, give my partner an average yarborough, and I'm prepared to play in 5 clubs. More importantly, if my partner's got 5 to the jack in spades, I don't know, it's a tough one. Well, let's I don't know what I've put up here. Let's look at the hand I've got. Ooh, there you go. It's a 50-50 game. So I think if you open 2 diamonds, you're going to get to game. So on this particular hand, you'd probably want to play. I think you'd need to open 2 diamonds to get to the game. So let's see what it might happen. So if you open 2 diamonds, you are saying, partner, I want you to bid. So you've decided you're going to play in game, and I'm quite happy. If I was playing on a Wednesday, I would open this 2 diamonds. Okay, I'd be saying, partner, look, I'm playing teams for a start, although next Wednesday's pairs, but I'm playing teams. I'm prepared to go for game here. Okay, I think it's going to be a reasonable chance. Partner would bid a negative. Remember, opposite the 2 diamond, I like to play a negative there. It'll go pass. No point, East can't double there because it doesn't mean anything really as such. 3 clubs, partner. I've got at least 10 playing tricks winning clubs because I'm going for game. And of course that allows North to bid what's in his hand. North would bid 3 spades. It's not showing any strength there. It could be reasonable. And now I think South can try 3 no trumps. Okay. And that would finish the auction. It's not a bad game. Let's be honest. It's not a bad game. You need the 10 of spades with West to make it very good. Well, remember, clubs could break 2-2. So if clubs break 2-2, clearly you've got 11 tricks off the top. If they don't break 2-2, what you need is the 10 of spades in the West hand, or the spades to be blocked here. I mean, let's just see the auction. The lead would be the Jack of Hearts here. We would win and obviously play our clubs off. And on this particular hand, let's just quickly do that. I think we'll just play the clubs off. And we've got to knock out the club. I mean, I guess let's assume South is brave enough to underlead his spades. It's, you know, you'd still have the chance of the 10 of spades being in the right place. In fact, West will probably lead the 10 of spades here. Well, you can see dummy. Maybe he'll try a small one, but it makes no difference. Okay, if they do try it, all you can do is try a small one, and of course it works here. Okay, so the opponents make 4 tricks, but that's all they make. And I think that's a good contract. I don't mind if you open 2 clubs. I think if you open 2 clubs, your partner probably is going to pass 3 clubs though. Okay, so here 2 diamonds, 2 hearts. I'll just show you that again. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, 3 spades, 3 end. But again, that's it's taste. I don't mind playing teams. I think it's reasonable to open with the strongest bid. Playing pairs, I do not mind 2 clubs. You'd finish in 3 clubs here. It tends to depend how you feel on the day in a way. You've got to decide whether you want to be in game. Remember, your partner could have had a singleton club here, which makes it a decidedly lesser game. Partner could have had a void club. So, you know, you've got to bear in mind that it's not always going to be as beautiful as this. Okay, let's finish up. And before I move on to the beginners, here's the bidding quiz. Let's have a look. There's your bidding quiz for this week. It's again, I've got some interesting ones of revolving around 1 no trump openings, etc. So here's the bidding has gone 1 no trump pass, 2 diamonds pass, 2 hearts. So the opponents have made a transfer, and then the bidding has been passed out to your partner, who's bid 2 spades. And then it goes past to you. You're sitting at, you've probably got the best hand at the table. Okay, so you've got to decide what to bid. Lord, you're quite right. West will think of playing the 10 of spades on that previous hand. The only problem is they can see that dummy will have Jack 9, 8, 7, so might not want to sacrifice it. That's the reason that you might choose not to play a spade. So an interesting auction there, so you've got to decide what to do after that. Remember, you can look up the answer on the site. So please do if you fancy that, whether you're a member or non-member. So it's a transfer sequence which then runs around your partner who bids 2 spades. And then you've got to decide what to do with your collection of goodies. Okay. All right, so that's the bidding quiz. Those of you who don't want to join me for the beginners, please wander off. I'll see you during the week. On the Wednesday, we're playing pairs style again, so pairs tactics. So teams, what I call the teams, but it's pairs tactics. So you can join me for that if you fancy. I think I'm playing with Pete against John and Becky. Our prize winner is Bernadette Matthias. Well done, Bernadette. And you're partnering me, if you fancy that, at the end of December. Not quite the end of December. We don't do the last week of December, so it's, I think, the 22nd. So into the festive period, certainly. So that's Bernadette Matthias. So thanks for your company today, and I'm going to move on now to a little beginners stuff, as we've been trying to do. Don't forget, you can visit our holiday site, or just come on to us. You can get a week free. Don't forget to try us out, and that's for beginners and non-beginners, all of you players out there. Okay, so we're making a plan still as declarer. and we're going to be working our way through different plans just to practice. So the first thing, as we've said, to do is to count your top tricks. The first thing to do is count your top tricks. Then I want you to work out ways to increase your tricks. That is going to be our plan to make our contract. Okay, so we're going to go through another hand here. We're going to do one hand at a time. So here I've given you a nice hand. This one is a little bit tricky for mini bridge because West plays the contract, but a lot of you probably not unreasonably would nominate to play in just one spade because you've only got 22 points between you. You've got 13 in the West hand and 9 in the East. So you'd feel, oh, I only want to play in one spade. I don't want to gamble on making more tricks. What we're going to see here is something that will come up later on a lot of times, is the value of singletons. So a singleton is one card in the suit, and you can see that East has just a singleton in hearts. So we're going to see that that's going to allow us to make more tricks. So I'm giving you a challenge. I'm putting you in 4 spades rather than just 1 spade. Okay, and so let's make a plan to try and make 4 spades, which of course requires 10 tricks. So the Queen of Clubs is led by the North player, and you've got to tot up your total tricks first. Your top tricks, apologies, your top tricks first. So you've got 5 spades, Ace, King, Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7. Can only count 5. You can only count the length of the suit. So there's 5 spades, and then there's 3 aces. Okay, so there are 8 top tricks. So that's a nice start already. Okay. Remember, in a trump contract, you can only make those if you have drawn your trumps. So if you did play all your trumps off and take your 3 aces, you would finish with 8 tricks. However, I've given you a challenge. I've asked you to try and make 10 tricks to make 4 spades. So you need to increase your number of tricks. And there's not many high cards about, is there? Other than your aces, you haven't got those kings, queens and jacks outside the trump suit. Remember, we've already counted 5 tricks in trumps in the spade suit. So where are you going to make anything from diamonds, clubs and hearts? And the answer is you're not really. You're not really going to make any extra tricks. You have got the chance in clubs. You've got quite a lot long clubs, but they're so weak. I think we're going to have to look elsewhere. Okay, so how can we increase those tricks? And of course, we're in a trump contract. And this is where we see this value of the singleton. Remember what we said a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at increasing your tricks. We were comparing roughing in the long hand to roughing in the short trump hand. And what we said was that if we can rough in the short trump hand, we gain a trick each time we do it. So what we said was if we roughed in the west hand, the long trump hand, one of the long trumps disappears and we're left with just 4 long trumps and a ruff. It's the same as the 5. But if we can keep the 5 long trumps there and use the trumps in the east hand to ruff, then we're making extra tricks. And that is going to be our plan here. If I can ruff not just 1 heart, but 2 hearts in the east hand, then I will gain 2 tricks. However, one of the main rules we get taught as a beginner in a trump contract is to draw trumps. And if I draw trumps, we use the trumps from both hands. It would be lovely if we didn't, but we do. So if I draw trumps, draw 3 rounds of trumps to get rid of all the opponent's trumps, I would have no trumps left in the east hand. I would not be able to ruff any hearts. So if I need my trumps to increase my tricks, I'm going to have to delay drawing trumps, which is against one of our fundamental rules. But I have a very good reason. So let's work out what we're going to do. We are going to win the ace of clubs, and we are going to pursue the extra tricks. So often when you're making a plan as declarer, if you've only got 8 top tricks and you need 10, you need to increase your tricks as soon as possible. So that's what we're going to do. We lead a heart to the ace, and we then lead another heart. And remember, all our trumps are high. I've given you the ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7 there. So nobody can beat the 7 of spades there. Even if South had no hearts left, he has not got a trump higher. And the highest trump on a trick wins. Okay, so we have made the 7 of spades. that is an extra trick. We've already said if we rough in that short trump hand, you can see there's still 5 trumps left, isn't there, in the west hand. So that's one extra trick gained. Let's get another one. And how can we do that? Well, we need to lead another heart. We're not in the right hand to do that, so we need to cross over. Okay, remember you've got to get back to the west hand. So let's lead a small diamond over to the ace. And now we rough another heart. Okay? And isn't that beautiful? Okay, we have now gained 2 tricks. We started with the 8 and we trust ourselves there was 8, and we've now roughed a second heart. Okay, so at this point we've done all the work we need to. Once we've increased our tricks, we can draw trumps. And in fact, if you look at the hands now, there's nothing left in diamonds and clubs. So I think we're going to make the 5 trumps that we knew we were going to make. Remember, the ace, jack, 10, 9, 8 of spades cannot be beaten. But after that, we're not going to make another trick. And in bridge, if you want to, you can take those trumps and you can concede the last tricks if you wish. And that's what I maybe would do here. I'd say I'm going to make my 5 trumps, I'll draw those, play those off, and then just say, look, you can have the last 3. I can't win them, I've got no high cards. Okay? So you made the first 10 tricks. Remember, we haven't lost a trick. So we're just going to lose the last 3, but we have not lost a trick. That was the beauty of having aces. It's one of the things you'll find. It's one of the wonders. Here's the full hand. It's a little bit smaller for you to see there, but you can see that north and south have lots of kings, queens and jacks in the diamonds, hearts and clubs. But because we had the aces, they couldn't stop us from keeping the lead and roughing 2 hearts. You can see the 8 tricks we started with, 5 spades in the west hand and 3 aces. And we added to those 8 tricks 2 heart roughs. It's a beautiful thing in trump contracts, but the most important thing that I'm trying to define for you here is declare a play, making a plan. If you can get good at this idea of sitting down, your turn to play, I've got some things to do. I've got to count my top tricks. I've then got to work out how I can make more. Now, there will be times when you're lucky enough to play in a contract, 4 spades, and you've actually got 10 top tricks. And that's a beautiful start, okay? Because then, of course, you don't need any more, okay? And so your plan is simply to draw trumps and take your top tricks. As soon as you have a deficit, though, here, so here we had 8 top tricks, we needed 2 more, we need to make that part of the plan. We need to increase our tricks to get to the 10 we needed. And that's what we did here. We roughed 2 hearts and we ended up with 10 tricks. Okay, last week on the last seminar, we were using length to establish extra tricks. And next week, we'll look at some high card establishment to make extra tricks. We're doing it, we're plodding through it, but there's a good reason for doing it, because getting used to making a plan is a wonderful thing. I see too many people who've gone quite a distance in the bidding and the definitions of bridge, but they're still not familiar with making a plan. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget you can practice with hands on the software on the site. That's a really important thing. There's lots of hands where you can practice, because that's what makes things perfect. Hope you enjoyed that. See you for more next week, and have a lovely week.